board games. Alright, so black-white aristocrats. This is, for starters, I always like to start with the definition here. People often ask what aristocrats means. So, last time we were in Ravnica, about 5 or 6 years ago in Standard, there were cards called Cartel Aristocrat and Falconwrath Aristocrat, and they were cards that sacrificed your creatures for effects. And Pitiless Pontiff and Priest of the Forgotten Gods, these are 2 cards that sacrifice creatures. So decks that are kind of tricksy and sacrifice lots of things, they tend to be referred to as aristocrat decks generically in Magic the Gathering. So this is a black-white deck that's leaning on Priest of the Forgotten Gods along with cards that generate extra tokens or return themselves from the dead or have some kind of added effect here. This card's just really powerful anytime it goes unchecked, especially when you have lots of bodies to feed into it. So I was really impressed with this list last time. This is one of the many wonderful standard decks that you can find on my website if you haven't looked there recently. So we're just going to go ahead and dive on into some matches and see if it still feels good. Blue-green, Merfolk. Merfolk today by chance? Maybe. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 more decks I want to do today. And I think I'm going to run till about 8 o'clock or so if our numbers are okay. So, yeah, maybe we can fit in Merfolk at the end. I don't mind aggro decks at the end of the day. Are you able to change a deck list in the queue? If you've added a deck to the queue and no one else has added points to bump it up, you are welcome to swap it out for another list. You just need to drop me an email from the email that I sent approving the deck list from. Also be aware that since I'm running long today, I'm probably not going to be responding to emails or deck list submissions until Sunday. The way this hand is set up, I think I'm going to lead on Tithe Taker just because I don't really have any other cheap creatures to feed the Priest of the Forgotten Gods. So I'd rather just start attacking for 2 earlier. We actually just got done explaining that, Gittle. So aristocrat decks in Magic refer to decks that have sacrificed their own creatures. So cards like Priest of the Forgotten Gods and the other 2-drop that sacrifices things are why this deck's called an aristocrats deck. Tradesies. Tradesies. No worries, Gittle. So they know I don't have a they don't know for sure that I have a castable creature for next turn. They don't have a shock here. This is pretty good for us. So the best Chain Whirler deck you've played so far? Yeah, probably Jund Whirler. As far as mid-range Chain Whirler decks go, it's been my personal favorite. Okay. That gives them something kind of poopy to sacrifice. Let's start by attacking with this and see how things go. I'm gonna go ahead and do this and hope to draw land here. So worth noting. Nope, I'm a liar. So the fun kind of begins here, but because they have cards like Footlight Fiend to sacrifice, and we're short on mana, we might actually not be winning this game, even though we've untapped with Breeze. Yeah, Judy's real scary. I think we're gonna get beat down here. Priest. This is a matchup where Priest is not good. I think I have to double block here. Yeah, mid-range tends to be the pushed archetype in Magic Standard format because mid-range decks allow for the most points of interaction. So mid-range decks give your opponents combat and creatures are the easiest things to interact with in Magic, so your games are more interactive if things are pushed towards the creature slant. So Moment of Craving in, Midnight Reaper out against an aggro deck. Do I want Tocatli on our guard? Is the matchup where I board out Priest of the Forgotten Gods just because it's so miserable? This might be a matchup where I just board out Priest, actually. Maybe I leave a couple of Midnight Reapers in just because I want to generate some value. I can see that being okay. Put in a couple of these. Oh, yeah, I guess Consecrate's fine. Yeah, I guess I can see that. It exiles their Gutterbones. Spyglass doesn't do anything to Judith. The easiest way, if you can tell, if Spyglass does something to a card, is Spyglass only stops things that have a colon in them. So you can only Spyglass humans. Tocatli versus Rick's Maddie seems kind of narrow. I don't think they have enough 2/1s for Tocatli to be good enough. Yep. Perfect. 1, 2, 3. It's just elementary. What could it be? This is definitely kind of an unfortunate pairing for us. Like, we're trying to, like, leverage Priest of the Forgotten Gods, and, like, their cards line up exceptionally well into Priest. Not blocking yet, because I want Midnight Reaper in play before I start trading so I can draw some cards. What's going on, Phasor? Thanks for the 5 months. I appreciate it. Welcome back. Spyglass does stop Gutterbones from coming back, which you can tell by looking at the card and seeing that there's a colon present. Ravager Worm's very good. That's why we splashed red in the deck for it. Alright, what's the 4th land for the Seraph, which is nice. If we don't get lava coiled here, we'll be in a pretty good spot. We should start pressuring in the air. It's like not that big of a deal because it means that our Seraph can have vigilance, and if they trade, I get 1/1s. Would really like to draw Midnight Reaper here so we can start trading and drawing cards when we trade. Whoa, that's a good draw. I think Midnight Reaper is really important in this deck. It's definitely not good in the aggressive matchups, but not all of your matchups are aggressive matchups. I agree with your assessment that Unbreakable Formation is good in the creature matchups, but I think this deck is good against other creature decks. That's one of the reasons to be playing it. Alright, so this attack means that they want to trigger Spectacle. I'm going to block with this, that way if they kill my 2/2, they don't get to trigger Spectacle. Yep, tomorrow is a standard tournament. Kitesail Freebooter is a weird card to have in their deck. I guess it's okay with Judith. I'm gonna go ahead and hold this land in my hand. I don't want to hold multiple lands, but holding one land is fine, I think. The fact that I have Pitiless Pontiff active is nice, because it means if they go to Lava Coil my Seraph the Scales, I get to sacrifice it and still get my Afterlife tokens. Yeah, we tried out Revival last time. Today, I am choosing to play, Today, I'm choosing to play Ajani in that slot, just because it does a similar effect. Let me go ahead and sack this Hunted Witness. I don't really care if they have to pay mana to pick this back up. I just want to keep this alive to protect my Seraph from a Lava Coil. What? Sure. They have Lava Coil now, I'm in a lot of bit of trouble. It depends on what their leftovers are here. Sure. It's a pretty good leftover for us. Hey, Aruki, thanks for the 13 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Yeah, as far as animation value goes, Seraph of the Scales just off the charts. Just like, animate me, baby. Yeah, actually, the Mardu Aristocrats build we're going to play 2 decks from now is actually leveraging Seraph and Rekindling Phoenix, which is interesting. Rekindling Phoenix with Priest of the Forgotten God seems pretty sweet. 4 power flyers are wonderful. These Rick's Maddies have been letting them power through their deck. Weird that they didn't play their land before they did that. Moment of Craving is not a terrible pickup. Oh, I let them get to blockers. I think I should have momented this before blockers here. Yeah, you could find a Teamer Vanafear deck on my website, jeffhoagland.com, along with lots of other fantastic standard decks. Wow. Oof. Seraph of the Scales really just showing its power here. They're debating if they want to attack with everything here. Is that a good draw? What do we think of that one? Does that draw derive joy, chat? Does it make you happy? Does it make you happy? Makes me happy. Be stupid. Thanks for cashing that Prime support this way this month. I appreciate it. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for keeping me around. I think I'm happy with how I sideboarded. Slacker Scythe. Thanks for the Prime. Welcome, welcome. Hope you're having a good one. Yeah, I think I'm content. Yeah, I don't think the 1/3 is quite good enough, especially in the face of like they're a Judith deck, right? So while the 1/3 stats are worth even less when they're going to be Judithing some amount of the time. Click on my username right there in chat, Socio Penguin. You can tell, I wonder when I'm going to be partnered for 4 years, because my sub badge in my own channel doesn't have the 4-year icon yet. I think it's this fall. I think it's September or October. I say I'm snapping off that block if they offer it. Our hand's like pretty reasonable here. Hopefully we draw some lands. See if they have a removal spell here for Pitiless Pontiff. They had some cravings out of their board too. It's a carnival. Seems fine for me. They have a shock as well. They just have another carnival. That seems like a good exchange on my end. Okay, I'm gonna snap this trade here if they offer it. Yeah, like they're down to 20 cards. Or they're down to 20 cards, down to 20 life. They have 2 cards in their hand. I'm at 14, but like... You know, honestly, Jimmy, I really kind of liked the 4-color angels as we played the other day. And we played blue-white angels this afternoon, and it was very, very good. You definitely want to check out the blue-white angels we played to start today, if you haven't already. Cast the beast down and out. Can you imagine they have Theater of Horrors? Yeah, I guess that's a good consideration. I used Mortify because I wasn't thinking about something like Theater and I just wanted to be resource efficient. But yeah, if they have access to Theater of Horrors, Mortify should definitely have been saved there. I agree with that. I think I need a Hydroid Crisis for tomorrow. I was thinking about just playing 3 and not looking for 1, but I probably should play 4. So if you're coming to the Nerd Rage tournament and want to bring me a Hydroid Crisis, I would not complain. So, sans a Theater of Horrors draw, we should be in a very good spot. We just don't want them to draw something that's going to, like, generate them card advantage. Why would you only play 3 creases? Because sometimes they clunk up Larynx. Like, the what's it called deck, the Teamer deck's not an aggro deck, not a grindy deck. So I aggressively used my moment there because this has lifelink, so it can start chipping me back up. And I don't want them to enable Spectacle in case they have, like, Rixmeti. That's true. That's true. You do Baby Crisis is pretty reasonable a lot of the time. Yes, JVL. I definitely should have Craving Judy instead of Mortifying because of the potential for Theater. You think you will sing the Baby Crisis song in person this weekend? Maybe. Dunk. So I'm actually going to cast this down as opposed to Moment of Craving, because Moment of Craving kills Judy. Cast down kills Demon, but I've got Consumes to kill Demon as well here, so we're pretty stacked at this point. It's like have our best threat in play, have a bunch of answers in hand. Sky Tether's a cheap removal spell for against aggro. I know you say you won't win tournaments, but I believe in you. Listen, people have misplaced. People put their belief in places they shouldn't all the time. I think that matchup's a little bit hard for us, but chip in a chair, we get to get on in there. Slow and steady. Deck still seems sweet as the last time we played it. This deck seemed really good against Mono Blue when we played it last time. Oh! Oh! We're on the draw. We're on the draw. Oh! Come on. Hit me, dealer. Hit me, dealer. Come on, puppy. Puppy! Oh, no. Oh, no. We need to be lucky, chat. I need you to believe, chat. Channel your energy, chat. Come on, dealer. Come on. Come on, dealer. Oh, no. Oh, no. Not only did we miss on lands, but we hit running the worst cards in the mono red matchup. Chain Whirler, ho! Aye! Puppy! Yikes! Yikes! Listen, chat, I'm gonna need you to believe a little bit harder for this next game, okay? I need you to channel your energy inward and focus a little bit. Alright, so I definitely want Honor Guard and Moment of Craving. What I want to cut here, it's probably Ajani getting cut. He's a little bit expensive. Add more lands, right? Obviously. Obs need more lands. I wanted to be on the play. I wanted to give him a freebie. I don't know if Consecrate's good enough. Like, I think it's too slow and clunky. I don't want to trim Mortify because they're a experimental frenzy deck. And if I trim a Tithe Taker, just because they're a Whirly Boy deck. Yeah, I'm gonna trim Pontiff. It's just gonna die most of the time. I want to keep my Max Priest enablers in my deck. Yeah, Afterlife I agree is pretty reasonable in this matchup. See, it is super reasonable. Real decks have curves, chat. Real decks have curves. Where's the Lyra? I don't think this matchup is bad enough that I need Lyra. Well, I mean, we did just get done playing a matchup where Priest of the Forgotten Gods wasn't good. So, like, yeah. Twitch chat and anecdotal evidence. Name a more iconic duo. I'm leading on Tocatli here, hoping that it can bait some removal out. So that way Priest can maybe live. I do not have Teamer Climb on the docket for today, no. I'm gonna play this out because it's better against Whirly Boy. Light them up. They're on fire. Oh, ho, 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 do, 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 do. So I'm gonna play Priest here and pass. I'm gonna play Priest and pass because there's a Goblin Boy in exile here. I don't want to play this out into a potential land. Well, if they hit the land, they can Whirly Boy plus Firebrand kill my Priest. Which is a little annoying. Really? Our entire deck can't block a Chain Whirler. Are you looking at my board right now? What are you smoking? What are you looking at? Of course, I literally have a blocker for Chain Whirler in play. We also have a bunch of removal spells for it, so like that's an option as well. If they don't Lava Coil Seraph this turn, we'll be in a good spot. If they Lava Coil Seraph this turn, they can't play both of these cards, which is good for us. Ajani also allows us to pump up the jam. Very, very true. What's the best Priest deck we've played so far? This one. I've liked this Priest deck a lot. What's not to understand about Gutterbones? Which part of Gutterbones are we struggling to understand? Alright, so we're looking to fade Whirly Boy at this point. I'm gonna go ahead and start attacking with these spirits in the air. I'm gonna attack with Gutterbones too, actually. If they hit Whirly Boy here, I sack Gutterbones to this. I get 2 tokens left over, then I can bring Gutterbones back, so it's not that bad of a spot. I have another light at the stage here. We are down to a virtual 6. But they're at 10, and I've got a good bit of power in play. So, Hunted Witness, Tithe Taker, these all make tokens when they die, which is great. So I have extra blockers here, which is wonderful. We have them dead through a Chain Whirler here, right? Yeah. I think I'm happy with how I'm sideboarded. I'm not your buddy, friend. Thanks for the Prime support. I appreciate that. Gosh, is Ajani good just at getting things out of Whirler range? I don't know. I have Tocatli and Priest. I'm probably okay. I don't think I want more 4-mana spells in the draw. I think all these pieces of removal are pretty important, especially Mortify with the potential of Experimental Frenzy coming down. Wait, Merrill, thanks for the Prime support. Welcome, welcome. Hope everyone's having a good Friday. Thanks for dropping in today. Yeah, it seems super reasonable. So the efficiency on Gutterbones is a big part of why it tends to be better than. reassembling skeleton. Also, if you look at, like, take a look at this hand or just the general curve of this deck in general, like how many cards you have at each spot, each mana cost. Like, this deck has a ton of things that cost 2 mana and not a ton of things that cost 1. So just like having a relevant play on the first turn of the game is very, very meaningful. I think I'm actually gonna play this here. It's a little bit better against Chain Whirler on 3. So we're going to take 5 down to 14 here. I get to Mortify this Runaway Steamkin. And then I'm taking at least 2 next turn, but then I get to play double 2-drop the following turn. So depending on how the top decks go, we might be okay here. Down to 10. Yep. 1 mana Divination. Pretty good in the aggro deck. Moment of Craving. Excellent draw for us. We did not play a Rakdos deck today. So we stay at 10 here. They are getting to enable Spectacle again, though, which kind of sucks. Next turn, I get to play Pitiless Pontiff, plus bring back Gutterbones. TSM, the even one. Thank you for the Prime support. Hope you're having a good Friday. Thanks for keeping me around. Hunted Witness is a wonderful draw here. So now I'm going to go Pontiff, Witness, tapped land, so I can hold up Pontiff activation. Token also, this token has lifelink, which is great. Yikes. Really want another Moment of Craving. Am I dead? Feel pretty dead. Close game. Needed like 1 more piece of removal there, probably. Or second, a Moment of Craving probably would have locked it up. 1-1 so far. Up and down, life's like a jump rope. Barely over 50% win rate. Climbing up ever so slowly. God bless the free loss you get when you hit the floor. I think I mulligan this. Just too many black cards and no black lands. Awkward mana to start, but maybe we can get lucky and draw basic on 1. Perfect. I think it's very good with the basic on 1. 1, 2, 3, right up the curve. Never didn't have it. Looks like Reclamation deck. We have Mortify here in our opener at least, so that's good for us. Yeah, I could sacrifice the token, and like the problem with that is just like it's very narrow. Like giving up a meaningful card in order to, this is wrong, should have done this during their upkeep or when they played a card at my end of turn. Not punished for my bad timing though. This is the water park event? No. And actually their next the first one that was supposed to be at the water park, they had to change the weekend on because Wizards of the Coast announced their stupid War of the Spark thing on a pre-release weekend. So they got a little bit. I think I play this out. So it adds more power to the table. Sabotage sucks. It's a good draw. Left a card on top. That's scary. What water park thing? The Nerd Rage Gaming Series is having some of their events at a water park hotel. Yikes. Nice cast down. Nice cast down, Hogland. I assume we're dead unless they have 2 lands in their hand. If they don't have 2 lands in their hand, we might be okay. Wow, the fact that they didn't direct one at Priest of the Forgotten Gods either means we're very dead or very okay. Any creature draw next turn keeps us in the game. Cast an instant or sorcery so I can concede. Got it. Excellent. Alright. Duress and Spyglass come in. Cast down's real bad. Mortify super reasonable here. Ajani makes our creatures bigger too. Gosh, what do I want to cut? I kind of like all my cards here. I think it's probably... Actually, it's probably Seraph for the scales, right? This card's a little slow. Yeah, Spyglass names the backside of Azcanta. Azcanta the Sunken Rune you can turn off. So you can't turn off the front half, but you can turn off the back half. I think I like this. 4 drops real slow against the combo deck. What do I think of Modern Horizons? They haven't given us anything to think about. It's hard to say if the set's going to be meaningful or useful without knowing what cards are in it. I think it sounds like if it's successful, it's going to make Modern a lot more expensive. A lot more is probably an overstatement, but it's definitely going to make Modern more expensive. Now, I think Consume for Niv is pretty narrow. Based on what we know. We don't know anything. It's hard to know. You can't make reasonable guesses without having all the puzzle pieces. I think Priest is very valuable in this matchup because not only can it help us ramp on mana, but it also answers their Niv Mizzet. So I'd much rather have a card like Priest rather than Consume to answer Niv Mizzet. Yeah, it's not unreasonable burst power. We played Spawn in this archetype before to like reasonable effect.
No, it's the lunch burglar.
The lunch burglar. That's my favorite kind of burglar. Thank you, wife. She's my favorite, chat. Wait, did you say you went to a 23rd land? This deck's playing 24 lands, which is really funny. So your deck has more 4-drops, and it has less lands than the deck I'm playing. I really love casting my spells. My decks are almost never land light when I build them. How does having more viable cards increase the price of Modern? Because a new set like this will increase interest in Modern overall, and because this new set won't include any copies of cards that already exist in Modern, it's going to, if it creates new Modern players, it's going to increase the demand for existing staples without increasing the supply. So, if new players are drafting cards, they think these cards are sweet and they want to play Constructed with them, they're going to need to buy existing staples to play with them more. I think running Field of Rune is really, really bad idea. I think you should look at Frank Karsten's Mana Math article for the color requirements for decks like this. Yeah, but you said you were playing one more land that we were playing, implying that we were playing 22. And I'm telling you, your deck has a higher curve than this and has less lands in it, based on what you're saying then. Destraminator, thanks for the 11 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me employed here. Well, they've countered all of our interactions, so all we can do is jam. Just gotta hope that our linear plan is good enough here. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they probably decided to do it because they don't want Modern to be cheap. Modern being expensive and inaccessible is good for Wizards because it pushes people into Standard. Wizards prefers that people play Standard as opposed to EDH or Modern and non-rotating formats because Standard creates repeat customers. In order for people to play Standard, they have to buy cards every set release, basically. Whereas formats like Modern, people can buy a deck and just sit on it. Nah, it has nothing to do with prestige. It has everything to do with creating repeat customers. Now, I think they got rid of Extended because people just didn't like Extended. Huh. The Spell Pierce might be annoying later, but I think I just want to take the Sabotage so I can get my cards into play. Like, I don't want them to sabotage my Reaper on 3. You're the only one selling it. Well, they don't sell those older cards like that. Alright, so... yeah, I think I just play this out. And then next turn I can Duress plus Mortify to like take the Spell Pierce, grab the Reclamation. Basic Potato, thanks for the 9 months. I appreciate it. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Drawing Sabotage here is real rough for us. It's a shame I don't have another creature to put into play to like draw a bunch of cards here. They still have the Spell Pierce up, which is real annoying for us. So I'm going to Mortify this on their turns. That way they have to spend the Spell Pierce mana on their turn. So they are 1 mana behind this turn. It's fine. I have 2 Mortifies. So like we'll Mortify here and then we'll untap and we'll Mortify again. Hopefully they don't draw like a big play this turn. They did not. Sweet. Alright, well, Duress you to start. Alright, well. Maybe I'm supposed to hold on to that just in case they draw Niv Mizzet, but like if they draw Niv Mizzet, I can draw any creature to kill it. Because I'm so tight on mana this game, Durin, I just need to get the Wilderness Reclamation off the table ASAP, and the Spell Pierce is going to catch something at some point regardless. Alright, I think I'm just going to draw a bunch of cards here, right? This is draw 5. Am I supposed to draw 5, or am I just supposed to pass here? I'm just going to pass. I'm just going to pass. Yeah, like this is lethal, right? This puts them to 2 and then free skills them. Yep, sweet. Yep, this is card for card, the deck list on my website. You can also always find the current deck list that we are playing using the Stream Decker widget on the screen. I'm playing Team or Climb tomorrow. That's my favorite deck in the format. So, I can Priest plus Mortify here, which I think is okay. I also just Priest plus Cast Down, but Cast Down's usually just cheaper Mortify in this matchup. Let's see what we draw here. I think I'm just gonna kill an elf here. Hopefully draw a land next turn and start converting these Seraphs into sacrifices.
Every fight makes me stronger.
We're in a pretty okay spot here. They could maybe navigate to a position where Fine Finality can get them back in the game, but I think we're pretty okay at the moment. So I'm going to go ahead and attack with these two, and then I think just leave Priest up here.
Scars are lessons written in
Probably going to see me sack these two this turn, draw a bunch of cards, or maybe these two. It depends on what creature they put into play here. It could maybe be right to do this proactively to keep them off of playing a Crisis for 2 here. Yeah, but why wouldn't I want them to sacrifice a creature? You pretty much always want them to sacrifice a creature. That's so good on this board, chat. Look at how good that is on this board. Do I want to activate this? I don't think I do, actually. I'm just gonna draw. I'm gonna cast down the elf. I'm gonna Priest, target you. I think I'm gonna hold on to the Midnight Reaper for now, because it insulates us against the Sweeper. I'm gonna put another Midnight Reaper into play here, because it's good against the Sweeper. So like if they play Finality next turn, I draw 6 cards.
Every defeat is a new beginning.
I didn't attack first with the Seraph because it didn't matter, because I'm attacking the Vivian. No, it doesn't matter. It's actually relevant. I guess this is technically untapped if I attack first, but in the grand scheme of things, it just doesn't matter. It's one of those 6 in one hand, half dozen in the other type things. Yeah, sure, you got me. I'm gonna draw 6 cards, and I have 3 Seraph of the Scales in my hand. Good luck, Godspeed. Hey, look at that. Got old Ajani here. Ajani plus Tithe Taker. How about that for a turn? This card is sweet. This is actually the first time we've cast this card in this deck. I would like 1 Priest of the Forgotten Gods back, please. Tithe Taker, go. Your move, Yugi boy. This is all we got. I am so confused right now. Like, I guess that, like...
Look how far you have come.
I guess that, like, insulates them against a couple of priest activations, but that still seems super loose, right?
Would you like to see what's left of Scala?
So target you, submit. Oh, this cost me. I forgot this was going to cost me mana to do. That's a little awkward. I was thinking I could play Mortify, but I forgot this was going to cost me one as well. Oh, I can still Mortify because Tithe Taker is gone now. Got it. Got it good. We're fine. It all worked out. It was working out in my head, and then I started doing things, and I was like, wait, I get to Ajani. Plus onto these.
What I see in you.
Attack Vivian for this. Do I have 8 mana here? I do, right?
Worse.
Just like Seraph. I don't know that we're fully into garbage time here, but we're definitely ahead. Solidly ahead. Yeah, opponent thinks we're in garbage time. God bless. It depends on the contents of their hand, right? If their hand's bad, we're in garbage time. I've never played. This is the first deck I've played in this matchup where it's like we have a good game 1 matchup and then we board into Tocatli on our guard. So it's just like we already are dumpstering them, but then we board into Tocatli on our guard too. It's just like it's dirty. Ajani was quite impressive there. So I want all 4 Tocatlis. I'm not sure what I want to trim in this matchup. Is Tithe Taker... Is Tithe Taker good in this matchup? I need to trim something. Is trimming... Maybe I trim 2 Mortifies. I think I want to trim some removal. I think I want 4 removal post-board. And I think Mortify is better than Consecrate Consume because I want targeted. Pontiff locks the board up, but I probably don't want need 4 of them. Yeah, that's probably reasonable. Tithe Taker's text box isn't super relevant here, but the fact that it's an afterlife creature is relevant. See, I'm going to do that. I'm going to board in 4 Tocatlis. I'm going to trim 2 Pontiff, 2 Mortify. I like that. Yeah, for sure. Priest is definitely pseudo removal. Yeah, I think this deck is probably genuinely good. This configuration is definitely the most powerful priest deck we've played so far. We can't beat Cry the Canary in this game, so I'm not going to pretend that we're going to try. Go. I don't really care. I don't really care about Vivian. She doesn't really kill any of her things that are meaningful. And like when Vivian shoots down Seraph of the Scales, she just when Vivian shoots down Seraph of the Scales, you just get to get her back right away. Or you get to attack her down right away, so it's not really a big deal. Alright, now that I drew Cast Down, I could just start cycling through these Gutterbones, which is nice. Vraska's contempting my Priest of the Forgotten Gods. Well, that kind of feels kind of bad, but it is what it is. People that want to suggest cards for this deck, please be familiar with the stream rules and the card rec command. I didn't cash in the Hunted Witnesses for a card draw at the end of the turn there because I felt like we were doing okay, and I didn't feel like I wanted to expose my things to spot removal necessarily. Like, leaving these in play makes me better against a non-cry sweeper because it means that I'm able to like, have things left over and then get my Gutterbones back with these things that hit. Yeah, we're basically just impersonating mono white aggro, right? Someone else was asking earlier about Gutterbones versus reassembling skeleton. I hope a game like this really exemplifies the power of Gutterbones. Hey, Coffee, thanks for the $5 tip. I appreciate it. Hope you're having a good one. Ooh. I'm sure there's a message attached there. Let me pop it over to it. Oh, audio bug. What do you think about running 4 copies of Zalfrin Void for 4 mountains in mono red egg? I have no idea what that card does. I'm gonna hold on to Tithe Taker here because I feel like their only out is probably... Oh, it's the land that scries. Yeah, don't do that in your Goblin Chain Whirler deck. If they play Hostage Taker, are they still dead? If they play Hostage Taker, they're not dead, so I should play Tithe Taker. Alright, they got tired of waiting on me thinking about my plays, so back up to Plat 2. How are we doing, folks? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good night to everybody, wherever you're at in the world. Thanks for dropping in here today. My name is Jeff Hoagland. I stream full-time here on Twitch. I'm here playing Magic 30, 40, 50 hours a week. If you are someone who enjoys standard best of 3 constructed with sideboarding, this is definitely the channel for you. We play a ton of different decks, and we change decks every 60 to 90 minutes, so you get a lot of variety here. As always, just shout out to my wonderful subs. I wouldn't be here day in and day out without their wonderful support, so thank you to all of them. I'd also like to shout out some of my wonderful sponsors here really quick. The Nerd Rage Gaming Championship Series, a $5,000 cash tournament series that happens every single month in the Midwestern United States. If you can't make it out to play in one of their standard, modern, or legacy tournaments, be sure to check out their streaming coverage as well. It's twit.tv/NRG series. I'm actually going to be playing in their tournament tomorrow, Saturday morning. It's a standard tournament, so be sure to tune in for that if you'd like to see me play some Paper Magic. Harry's Razors would love to help you get that close, clean shave. Remember, chat, just because you like playing the degenerate decks doesn't mean you need to look like it. Using code Jeff Hoagland at bit.ly/shave, you can save $5 on your brand new shaving starter kit with them. Neo provides wonderful candy-flavored protein bars. Using code Hoagland at bit.ly/HoagleBar, you can save 10% on all of your orders there with them. And, of course, I'd like to welcome everyone out there to Hoaglandia. I know there's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch right now, and I appreciate you dropping in to spend part of your day here with us. Remember, if you are new and enjoying the content, you like how I explain my plays, the variety of decks that we play, make sure you hit that follow button. Following the stream doesn't cost you anything. It lets you know when I go live and with what. If you see me post about a deck that looks sweet and you don't get a chance to catch it live, be sure to check out my YouTube channel as well. Everything I stream gets archived there, and I break it all up by deck, so it's easy to find just the matches that you care about. I don't think this deck really wants to afford the tapped lands. I think a lot of the time you'd want to be curving out more consistently. I agree that both Memorial to Folly and Memorial to Glory are, like, playable cards that have, like, a meaningful effect in here, but I'm not sure they're worth the tempo loss that they generate. My mom is cool. Thanks for the 2-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Solid aggro curve here against Gates. about protecting the priest and sacking it with the priest at the same time. Well, you can't sacrifice something to two separate effects. That's not how Magic the Gathering works. Alright, so Seraph of the Scales puts lethal in play. So if they don't have a Gates of Blaze, they're dead. And if they do have Gates of Blaze, I still have 4 power in play with the follow-up Gutterbones next turn to have them dead in 2. So if they Gates of Blaze, they're still dead in 2 with no other interaction. If they do Gates of Blaze, that's pretty good. Life gain plus a Blaze might be kind of tough to beat here. I think Pontiff's very good in this deck. I think having a sacrifice outlet to protect your afterlife creatures against things like Vraska's Contempt and Lava Coil, as well as, yeah, there's the Archangel. Just reset us back to the beginning, just plus 14, yep. Yep. Alright, here we go. Here we go again. Here we go again. Should have known, should have known, should have known again. Do 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 do. Giving it the college best here, but having a little bit of a hard time. Am I dead? Who's dead? Someone's dead here. Are you dead or am I dead? Pick one. Yeah, we actually still have 6 power in play. It's unfortunate. Means we have to keep playing. No, Afterlife makes spirit tokens. I'm playing this. Am I playing out the Pitiless Pontiff as well? Does that play around anything? It's better to hold this in case they have another Gates of Blaze, but they probably have other stuff going on, right? So if they Crisis next turn, they Crisis for 8, gain 4, go up to 8. And they block 2 things, take 6. I'm going to play the Pontiff out. I think it's pretty dead to anything else. Just have to hope they have bricks, which is pretty unlikely. So close and yet so far away. I think as far as metagame decks go, this deck is super, super reasonable. Like, I think this deck lines up really well against a lot of the top decks in the format, but I think like it probably struggles with some of these more random things like Gates. Like mono blue, Sultai. You beat up Esper pretty well last time too. Sure, but I'm still not winning that game, Duran. I can still just, like, have a giant 8/8. I mean, gaining life doesn't really matter against them. I think I'd rather have Mortify as removal, just because Mortify kills their enchantment, which can be meaningful. Tocatli versus Angel is interesting. I'm not sure that's better than the other cards that I'm playing. I think that's not good enough. Like, a 1/3 is not particularly aggressive. I think most of the cards that I want to take are non-creature spells, so I'd rather just have the flexibility of Duress. No Spoon, thanks for the 6-month resub, I appreciate that. Welcome back, thanks for keeping me around. Well, if we draw lands the next 2 turns, we'll be in a good spot. We've definitely felt very land-light with this deck today, which is unfortunate, because this deck's playing a lot of lands. 24 lands in our aggro deck that doesn't really care about. Doesn't have too many cards that cost more than 2. Maybe I'm supposed to just play Hunted Witness here to play around Gates of Blaze. Probably. Deal. Worked out much better. We don't need more lands in this deck. The math says 24 lands is plenty, and my deck that occasionally draws cards and mostly tops out at like 2 and 3 mana spells. Ben, don't adjust your deck every time you hit the bad set of variants in a small sample size. I mean, it'll sometimes read the opponent doesn't gain 14 life Endo Crisis. Like, there's also going to be an overlap of games where, like, you have Tocatli Honor Guard in your deck and they don't draw the Angel, so you've literally just put a 2 mana 1/3 in your deck against the control deck. So, like, it's tough. You can't evaluate all of your cards when they're at their absolute best possible case scenario. You'd much rather evaluate your cards when they're at their average case scenario rather than at their absolute best. Could I have played around that by playing out more creatures? I don't think so. Maybe I could have played, if I could have played Hunted Witness, they'd have blocked here. No, they'd still be going to 1. Yep. Angel's currently gaining 6. It can gain up to 8 if they play another land. Quintez, thank you for the Twitch Prime support. I appreciate it. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thanks for keeping me around. I mean, the definition of being results-based is basically looking at something and seeing it happen and then assuming that the thing that you've just witnessed happening on your screen is the average case scenario, which is just, like, rarely the case, right? Mr. Spaghetti, thanks for the 4th month in a row. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. So, it's unfortunate that they're not going to be dead here, because they gave this lifelink, so they're actually going to go to 6 here. Well, I guess if they attack, I get to trade. I think that just happens. I mean, they need to attack because otherwise they're dead on board. If they don't attack, they're dead on board. Bam. You could have sacked a token if you left up Pontiff. Krasis has trample. Look, no numbers. Of course it flamples. Come on now. Doesn't everything flample in this format? If they have another Clarion, we're probably dead. Because they'll get to lifelink for 7 here. We are, however, beating a Gates Ablaze. We're looking to dodge Clarion and Angel here. Krasis is also bad for us. If I had to venture a guess, I'd assume this matchup is unwinnable for us. Pretty close to unwinnable. Feels real bad. Your aggressive deck needs to be a little bit more aggressive than ours, or have a little bit more disruption, like counter spells like Mono Blue, to be good against the Gates deck. Gates really preys on like mid-range and like aggressive mid-range decks. Yay, magic. Seems very good. Sign me up. I'd love to find a 1-drop on top of our deck so we can curve Priest into Tithe Taker 1-drop. Not a land. You got Angels next, right? Yep, we're going to be transitioning to. I'm probably going to play one more. This will probably be the last match with this. We've been going for a little bit over an hour already. I'm actually going to lean on Tithe Taker here, because it makes counter spells worse if they're playing like Essence Scatter or stuff like that. Probably Curve Taker into Midnight Reaper, assuming they don't play a Thought Erasure here on 2. Tithe Taker just has such relevant decks. This card was really good in the Blue-White Angels we played today. Perfect. Alright, let's do this. Dapper Dan Man, thanks for the Prime support. Hope you're having a good one. Welcome, welcome. Man, if they don't have a cast down here, good golly. If that's wrong, then I don't want to be right, chat. If that is wrong, then I don't want to be right. Wow, their hand is dog poop.
You should be proud. Deliver us to victory.
Priest Midnight Reaper is quite the drug. Ajani's also been really good. I wouldn't be surprised if like a 3rd copy of this is good in the sideboard for the control matchup. Oh, thanks for being here, Bert. I agree. The standard format is just quite excellent. Go. This deck never beats Cry, not without Duressing it. Yeah, a bunch of copies of Duress in your sideboard. If I didn't know better, I'd have said nice Esper deck there, because they basically just did nothing. Yeah, I agree. I think this current format's like my number 3 for lifetime favorite standards. With the previous standard format being number 1 and Innistrad RTR standard being number 2. Yep, yeah, standard format means the current sets that we are playing with. So there's 6 legal sets right now. So the current standard format is this format that I'm playing right now. Yeah, previous is reference to before RNA was released. So the standard before this set was released. The 5 sets before this one. No, I don't think Krasis made the format worse. I think Wilderness Reclamation made the format a lot worse. In my subjective opinion. Standard was pretty good. Maybe 4 or 5. I liked Con Standard. Playing lots of multicolored stuff is fun. What on God's green earth did they keep? I mean, they kind of reprinted Lingering Souls. If you cast Seraph with the Scales, that card's great. Ritual of Soot. Really? Huh. So, I actually just let this happen, I think. Because if I sacrifice the Tithe Taker to draw a card, I don't get the token because the token will die to the Ritual of Soot. And I want to get this token so I can pick Gutterbones back up this turn. What's the worst standard format I remember? The one right before this, where they had to ban a bunch of stuff because Energy and Scarab God were both awful. Earlier, people were saying we needed to add lands because we were screwing. Is this the part where people recommend we cut lands? Because we're flooding slightly. Energy was a fine mechanic. The stat lines on it were just bad. The cards they chose to put energy onto were not ideal. The actual energy mechanic itself is fine. They were a Sultai deck last game, right? I'm not going crazy. I feel like I'm going crazy. They were a Sultai deck, right? I think this deck's great. This is definitely the best version of Aristocrats we've played. It's felt really powerful and consistent. They play Wild Growth Walker, right? Yeah, okay, good. If they sacrifice Gutterbones, I get to get it back. Oh, I guess that's true. Okay, so they pick their Hostage Taker back up now and then Hostage Take my Priest. Yeah, this was loose. This was loose. Loosey, a little loosey-goosey. We're gonna lose our Priest now. Mistakes were made. Should have waited for a Tocatli Honor Guard or a removal spell in my hand so I could stop this. I'm gonna play this first so that way they can't priest my priest. Hey, someone, whoever you are, thanks for checking out Quip. Hope you enjoy your brush. Yeah, we have 2 Ajanis in our main deck. If they want to priest me back, I sacrifice the Seraph, and then their whole board is gone, and I get 2 Gutterbones. So priesting me back here does not seem fantastic. The only thing I care about Modern Horizons, really, is I hope they don't print Containment Priest, because I've really liked playing Vanifear Chord, and if they print Containment Priest, Vanifear Chord's probably unplayable, which would make me sad, because I've really been enjoying that deck. John Slayer, thanks for the 3rd of a year. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Wait, did they not make me sacrifice a creature? I'm confused. I think this deck already grinds really well, and Memorial to Folly is an awkward tapped land. I think they failed to click on me. Oh no! Oh no! Their green deck found green mana. They must have clicked. Maybe they thought they had to click on themselves to choose who draws the card. Final countdown. Wonder if I'm supposed to just leave Mortify up here, because if they have land hostage taker, I'm pretty sad because they get to take my Seraph. Getting more power into play is better in the face of Crisis, though, and they're already through one hostage taker and they haven't played any Crisis. Nah, I don't think I want to play in a standard format against Esper Control where Crisis isn't a cast trigger. Esper Control would be very oppressive if Crisis didn't draw cards on cast. My only complaint about the current format is the Wilderness Reclamation decks. They just don't generate what I would consider good games of Magic. But that's fine. The Wilderness Reclamation decks aren't actually that good, so you don't play against them that often, so it's not that big of a deal. I'm not sure either of those cards are necessarily going to be very good, Polly. I agree that those are the decks they go in, but those decks aren't very good, and I'm not sure that those cards help them. It's both. Zuck Attack, both are the reason why the format is good. So cashing this in kind of implies to me that they have another Fine Finality next turn. No, never played it. I'm gonna be trying out a Sarah deck when it hits Modern. I plan to continue doing what we always do here, which is playing the decks that people have decided to pay me to play. Are they debating on killing a 1/1 flyer? Yes, they are. Hey, Zinder, thanks for the 4 months. I appreciate it. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. If they have double removal spell here, I'm a little bit sad with this attack, but outside of double removal spell, this is pretty fine for us. Yikes, we're about to get double removal spell. Okay. This is the part where we play a game that's kind of close until my opponent draws a Hydrate Crisis. Yeah, I agree. Gutterbones might have been able to pull us through this flood if we had a couple more spells. I don't know. They're also flooding here, so like if they don't hit a Crisis soon, we could maybe be okay. I mean, spells would be good here. People are just like listing cards that are spells in our deck. I agree. Any spell would be a good draw here. Oh, no. That's fine. That's much better than a land. Tocatli Honor Guard's great. Sign me up. She's dead, Jim. She's clearing the way for Ajani, chat. Tocatli guards Ajani from Assassin's Trophies. This is the part where they're counting their lands so they can play Hydrant Grazes. Oh, yeah. Your move, Yugi boy. This is all we got. Survey says, this is the part where they draw Hydrate Graces and we die. Don't do it to me. Have a heart. The land, it's basically Duress them, yep. Get that animation value. Optimalist, thanks for the Twitch Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome. Thanks for shipping your Basil Bucks this way this month. And remember, even if we lose this, we're up a game, right? So, like, no, it's not done yet. Man, their trophy case is nice and full. We drew another spell, though, because spells are busted, so. Spells are busted. Spells confirmed busted. Survey says. I'm sacrificing the tokens because then Gutterbones is lethal on the attack. Oh, yeah. Feels good to end on a high note. That's an awkward. That's a really awkward game. I think this deck's good against Sultai on average, but like that game was just super awkward from both sides, right? Man, I think I am really happy with the 75. The Consecrate Consumes are like the two cards in the sideboard that I'm not sure on. Honestly, they're probably too cute. I feel like I kind of want more Moment of Craving against the mono red matchup. I think I'd probably bump that. And then I think Ajani's good enough that I want a third one in against the control matchup. So I think this is what I'd probably do. I was pretty happy with everything else, all things considered. It's definitely this is the best Priest of the Forgotten God shell that we've played. We are going to be playing another Mardu build later today that could be reasonable, but this is definitely the best shell of this, I think, that I've played so far. Single Lyra could be interesting. Maybe that's better than a Moment of Craving. We do have a lot of spot removal. Yeah, I don't hate that. Definitely get to that mana consistently. I like that. Let's do it. Let's do that. I'm gonna update the list of the sites to do that. The Bant Hero deck we played today was not very good. And it'll be up on YouTube later if you'd like to see for yourself why it was not very good. You explained the cute decryption for a card. So cute, as we refer to it in TCGs, refers to a card that has a kind of neat effect that doesn't actually add value to what you are doing. So it's a card that's like neat and fancy and flashy, but like when you ask yourself, what value is this card adding to the deck that I'm playing? The answer is not a lot. I would encourage you to go back and watch that last match that we played again if you think you want to replace Gutterbones with reassembling Sultan. The 2 points on Gutterbones is very, very good. The 2 points of attack. Not having 4 Duress in the sideboard seems like a real big mistake, so I'm gonna fix that. Is there really only 1 Mortify in this deck? That can't be right. Banefire's kind of okay. Mortify is one of the best cards in this format. So I think playing a lot of that's a good idea. I'd have timed you out, Heatstroke, if you weren't a sub on the chat. Remember, if you want to critique cards that are in the deck list, you need to explain why. You need to be helpful and not just hateful. You don't just put down decks that are being played on stream. Be constructive, be specific, help the person that submitted the deck learn why the card choices might not be good. All right, let's post on the Twitters. Unfortunately, Omnisage, I don't have a crystal ball. It's broken today, so I don't try to predict the future.